And here's the little boy. Same genes. Hypo, Super Onyx, Blood, Honduran T positive. All the genes right here. What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily. And today's video is going to be a cool one because I got a FedEx delivery in the mail of some new snakes. A new species that I do not have in my collection. That is exciting for me. I kind of wanted these for a couple years, and I probably should have bought them several years ago. I probably would be breeding them already by now. But sometimes you just don't pull the trigger. And for some reason, I just saw them and I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I actually bought 2 pairs of them just in case, Sometimes you buy 1 pair and something dies. So I bought 2 pairs. I might actually even sell a pair. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I bought the 2 pairs. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You're going to have to wait to see them in the video. And be just as surprised as Pablo was when I brought him in because he didn't know I was buying him either. That's always super exciting. We're also going to take a look at that crazy Hypo Super Onyx Honduran T positive blood clutch that I produced of boas, or I should say litter, as my friend Mike Weissman would correct me. Boas are called litters. Pythons have clutches of eggs. And I'm going to show you all the siblings. A lot of people have been asking me about purchasing pairs. I have a bunch of really nice ones here. I also have some holdbacks from 2022 and 21, believe it or not, as well. So if you're into the Onyx project, which is the Super Dwarf project, as I like to call it, the Super Dwarf Boa project, let me know. Watch the video, and then you can contact me, and I can walk you through putting together a nice pair. All right, let's go into the snake room and take a look and see what we got. All right, we're looking at the Super Fire Diamond boas in their naturalistic enclosure. Pablo finally installed the custom shelf we had built. So now we have a radiant heat panel right there with a custom shelf that they could sit on here and bask and get warm after they eat. Because we've been having, every once in a while, one of these guys regurgitates, and I think it's because there was no heat. They couldn't get warm enough and bask. So I think that's going to solve our problem now. We have a nice shelf right under the radiant heat panel. And I put their plant back in here now that they got their shelf in here. And look at that. It's like the Amazon rainforest in here now. Probably need to increase the humidity here a little bit. But other than that, we got UV light, we got LED lights, and we got a radiant heat panel. So all's good. And the Super Fire Diamond naturalistic enclosure. We probably should get a nicer water dish. That kind of looks out of place now that we have everything so naturalistic. We got to get like a more naturalistic water bowl. All right, I want to show you that Hypo Honduran T positive Onyx Het blood litter that was bred to an Onyx Het blood Het Honduran T positive that I produced. I showed you some of these crazy red boas I produced the other day. I want to show you some of the siblings that are in this litter that will probably be available for purchase. This is what I believe to be a Super Hypo. Excuse me. This is a Hypo Super Onyx. Super Onyx kind of makes the pattern disappear. Hypo takes away more pattern, makes it more red. Now the question is this Honduran T positive or is it blood? And that's what we have to decide. It looks blood to me, actually. But it could be Honduran T positive as well. It's one of the two. I don't think it's both, like the really red ones. I think this is probably more than likely blood because it looks like a bloodish color to me. Beautiful little male, and not cooperating too much. But I think it's the table. The table's kind of slippery, and they don't like slippery. And boas are a little more active than ball pythons. Here's another beautiful male. Super Onyx. Hypo. And that might be all that he is. I think this is a Hypo Super Onyx that's 100% het for Honduran T positive and 66% het blood. You can see that he's not as red, although his belly is very red. But Super Onyx is, when you add the Hypo gene to them, we'll get very red bellies like that. This is typical Super Onyx patterning. These little florets, I call them. I don't know if that's the right term, but they got the beautiful black eyes. I don't believe that there's any visual aspect to this. Like, I don't think it's a visual Honduran T positive. I don't think it's visual blood. Could be wrong. I'm going to let it grow a little bit more, but beautiful, beautiful little male. Here's a really nice, look, sitting in the water. Another super onyx. Hypo. This guy looks blood to me. Look at that. Really beautiful. And you can see the pattern, more pattern is erased. So there's definitely something else in here. Is it Honduran T positive or is it blood? I think it's blood. Look at those black eyes. I would not be surprised if this was not Hypo. Super onyx blood. Or just maybe, you know what? This might just be super onyx blood without the Hypo gene, because you know what? It does have a lot of darkness in it. But a lot of that black has been stripped away, so I think the Hypo gene is present here. All right, we're gonna leave this little girl alone. She's a beautiful little female, if anyone's interested. Great color. All right, that's a single copy Onyx. This is a male, so it's a Hypo Onyx. You can see that beautiful red tail, and much lighter than a normal Onyx. Normal Onyxes would be very black looking. This has stripped away a level of that darkness, so we have a Hypo Onyx that's a 100% het Honduran T positive and 66% het blood. Beautiful, beautiful boy. Here's another beautiful little male that's also Hypo, single copy Onyx. A lot of times the Onyx, you'll see this little chain linking going on with the little striped tail. That's Onyx. That's Hypo, because it doesn't have the black of a typical Onyx. And very similar to the last one we just saw. If you're looking to get into the Onyx project, you don't want to spend a fortune. This guy's also 100% Honduran T positive and 66% het blood. So nice way to get in at a much more affordable price. Don't forget, these guys are super dwarfs. They're going to stay really small. They're pure blood Hondurans with the Panamanian blood bower line in there, which is also very small. They won't be quite as small as just the pure Honduran line, but of morphs. But blood keeps them pretty small too. My females stay small. The males are teeny tiny. If you saw the male that produced this litter, you would not believe it. I'll show them to you. Teeny. I really didn't want to show this one because he's got some stuck shed on him. Actually, this is a girl. But I wanted to show you what a super onyx looked like, just without any other genes in it. And look how dark that is. See what I mean? So you could tell the Hypo onyxes, or the Hypo super onyxes, you can see the iridescence there. They're black. They're almost patternless and they're black, the super onyxes. So this is just super onyx, 66% het blood and 100% het Honduran T positive. Once again, we got some wet paper towels here, so hopefully she'll shed that off by tomorrow. All right, here's another beautiful male. This is what I believe to be a blood onyx. So one copy of Onyx gene with blood. That's what I'm thinking. I don't see Hypo gene in here because it's just not light enough. Let's see if we can take this guy out here. Put him over here on the black. There we go. So yeah, I think it looks very much like a blood boa to me. So I'm calling this Onyx blood with nothing else. 66% Honduran T positive. That's an interesting combination right there. Is the Hypo gene in there? I don't think so. I don't think so. Now, what I think this male is, I believe this male is a Honduran T positive Sunglow Onyx. So one copy of Onyx, Hypo gene in there, and then Honduran T positive. That's what I'm pretty sure. So this would be 66% het blood too. Very light. This is kind of what the father looked like. But look at that red tail. Wow. A lot of reds in there. And that's because that Hypo gene with the Honduran T positive and the Onyx gene, even though it's only one copy, will bring out a lot of reds. I bet you the belly's red too. Yeah, we got some redness on the belly there, right there, the back part. So this really nice looking boy. You see that nice chain linking? That's the Onyx with the striped tail. And the this guy could be a great breeder. And we had to end with this one. This is our female Hypo Super Onyx Honduran T positive blood. Patternless, red boa. Doesn't get much redder than this. Totally saturated with red. Gorgeous, beautiful black eyes. Just exquisite. Showed you the other day. I'll show you the boy too. And here's the little boy. Same genes. Hypo, Super Onyx, blood, Honduran T positive. All the genes right here. Now, these snakes these two, probably, I might sell one, I don't know. I'll probably keep both, but if I do sell one, they'll be very expensive, obviously, because I hit every gene, and I've been trying to do this for probably 6 years now, so I finally did it. However, you can get some of the siblings that have a lot of the genes in them, and you can make your own version of this, and that's what I had to do. I had to start from scratch and produce them, so it'll be much more affordable, and I think you'll get much more pleasure out of doing it, directly. But if anyone wants one of these visuals, I'll decide which one I'm going to let go, whether I'm going to let the male or female go, and you can hit me up for that. But if you want to get one of the siblings, I know a lot of people have asked me, reached out. You got to see what I got. I have more Onyx stuff too from last year and the year before that still, so those are available as well. We can talk about that as well, but this is just mind-boggling how exquisite this came out. All right, we got a new order in today. Some Mexican black kingsnakes. Yep. Always trying to get something new. And these are really, really nice. These are really jet black too. We should probably take them outside, because that's how cool they are. Let's see. Now they get a little too crazy. Let me just, let's bring them outside. All right, these are my first king snakes I've ever gotten. And I figured if I'm gonna go king snakes, rather than go albino, which is what I normally would do because I like white snakes, I said I'm gonna go with the blackest snake I can get. And the Mexican black king snakes are really black. And these these two pairs that I bought are jet black. They don't have, some of them have some white spots on them. These are completely saturated, and they're small too, so when they get older they're going to get even darker. I'm really pretty happy with the way they look. And you see how they like colubrids, they like to shake their tails like they think they're little rattlesnakes. They kind of mimic rattlesnakes, so in the wild they can scare away predators. Really nice. Now, king snakes can eat other snakes, so you really can't keep them together with each other, that's for sure. And if you have a snake die in your collection, you could always toss it over to these guys and they'll eat them. Another new species brought into Palumbo's pythons and boas here. I'm loving it. And we're gonna get these guys set up in their new enclosures. And here's another one. Figured I only showed you guys one. I want to show you how they're all really, really black. Look at that. Look at how they glisten in the sun here. So beautiful, these guys. I can't believe I haven't gotten these before. I can't even imagine how cool they're going to be when they're bigger. Because they're going to be just as black. They're actually blacker than we have black racer snakes here that I find out in the neighborhood here. And they eat all the frogs, and they'll eat anything pretty much, mice. They're not as dark as these Mexican black king snakes. No way. However, if I ever found an albino black racer here, I would certainly try to breed it. But I always catch the black racers, I let them go. Probably because I take them for granted because they're in my backyard, but if these were in my backyard, I would certainly collect these things. These things are awesome. All right, there it is, Mexican black king snake. There's my albino Eclipse. Look at that boy, finishing up a rat. Pablo opened up the tub. He's like, oh, thanks, because I want to stick my head up so I can get this rat down my throat. This guy only has one eye. One good eye, one not so good eye. But he was an albino Eclipse, and he's the only one I produced that survived. So kept him. We bred him this past year. I don't know if we're gonna get any babies. We'll see. We got a nice little medium-sized rat. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today here at Palumbo's Pythons and Boas. I hope you enjoyed those crazy looking black Mexican king snakes. Man, those are jet black. They do not have a blemish of white on them. What a lot of people don't realize is some of the Mexican black king snakes actually have white in them, and they don't look completely black. So you have to really make sure that you buy high quality animals from breeders that are going to sell you, jet black ones, because sometimes, they'll sell, if you see something that's a little too cheap online, a lot of times it's for the ones that are not completely black. And, the jet black ones are just more desirable. You can see that. I mean, they look like an IMG boa after they're completely have turned black. They're just gorgeous. So we'll be growing those up little by little, and hopefully in a couple of years we'll be able to breed those and produce some really nice babies from that. That's kind of cool. I'm digging this Onyx boa. Man, I've been nurturing this project for probably almost 10 years now. I bought my first Onyx babies from Freak Nut back in 14, I was here already, so it had to be about 16 or 17, and I've been growing them up and producing Onyx. I probably produced Onyx boas for 3 or 4 years now, and you got to be patient, but they are gorgeous. They're worth it. They're beautiful snakes, and they're dwarf and super dwarf boas, so they're not going to get huge. You can keep them in ball python tubs their whole life. They're absolutely beautiful snakes with great personality. So if you enjoyed watching those, if you want to get involved in that project, reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to talk to you. All right, sending the love out to Brian Barczyk once again. Healing energy. Brian, beat that pancreatic cancer. I know you can do it. For now, though, we are out of time. You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, hit that like button. See you back tomorrow morning.